Today I'm going to share my testimony. Thank God's grace and mercy that I am the fifth generation of Baptists, and I grew up in the Church of Shanghai. My father came to Hong Kong in 1949 because my younger brother had meningitis, had to see doctor every day, so my mother and my elder brother stayed in Shanghai. After my youngest brother passed away, my grandparents asked us to stay with them. My grandparents were devout Christians. They used their downstairs as church. So I had many services in a week. Sunday morning, Sunday evening, Wednesday night prayer meeting, Friday ladies fellowship, Saturday choir practice. My mom played piano and my uncles and aunt were great singers. When I was 12 years old, after 8 years of separation, we had a chance to be reunited with my father. The first thing my mother did was to find a church home. Then we found IBC Chapel in Leighton Road. The building still existed today. Then we bought a church building in Madonna Road. Later in 1968, when I graduated from Baptist University, I became the headmistress of Baptist Nursery Kindergarten for 3 years before I got married. Then became supervisor for a few years before it closed down. My grandparents had a great impact on me. Their love to God and love to fellow Christian brothers and sisters touched my life. I remember at Christmas they prepared a lot of gifts to give away. In my life, I felt God's wonderful, amazing love surrounded me. I experienced 3 robberies, Samuel's robbery, Veronica's big fire, 1 car accident, and 1 life-threatening aneurysm. The first robbery came at the early age of my marriage. When Veronica was born, friends and relatives sent gold chains to Veronica. My kaima at that time also experienced that robbery, and the police sprinkled a lot of powder on the floor. I said to myself that I just put the jewelry in 2 drawers. The thief wouldn't have to search, just open the 2 drawers. So the thief did just open the 2 drawers. I was amazed how the thief came in. Through the next flat, which was vacant, climbed over the veranda to our flat. But our veranda door was locked, so he climbed to the guest room, which the window was open, and came to master bedroom. If he fell over, the 4th floor height might kill him. The management staff saw him and said, if I give him some money, he will tell me. But I did not do it, just let the incident pass by. He was the big landlord's son. If he was caught, his future would be finished. He might have some urgent need to do this kind of thing, so just let the incident pass by. The second robbery was that I had some intuition that I would be robbed by a gangster teenager around 3 in number. But the idea just slipped away. When I entered the car park, someone opened the door. I could have locked the door after my friend got off. The lady wore a lot of jewelry. When the man got on, at first I thought that was Thomas because he opened so smoothly, and I saw a man wearing brown pants. That day, Thomas was wearing blue. When a total stranger came in the car, he said, "Don't move, I'm going to rob." Then from a paper bag, he showed a long knife and asked me to go to the football stadium. I thought that stadium was too dark and dangerous, so I said I was in a hurry. He said, "Just went forward." In the car, I started the conversation. This is too dangerous. Why don't you find a decent job? I felt his heart pumped. Why this woman think about me? We are on the opposite side. And he asked me to stop at the sign. And he said, why you are driving such nice car and so little cash? I only have 200 in my crocodile purse 30 years ago. I said, today I bought a lot of food and spent a lot. And he asked me, what kind of brand is your watch? I said, Indica. You can take it to pawn a few $100s. And he didn't take it. And he saw my necklace, very thick. Is it real? I said, it's not real, 18K gold. And he didn't take it. At that time, someone passed through the car and took a look inside. I said to him, don't be afraid. What's your surname? I can say you are my friend. He was totally surprised. How can this woman so calm? Because God was with me, so I wasn't afraid. And he looked at my ring. I said, sir, could you please do me a favor? If you take this wedding ring, I couldn't face my husband. So he returned back to me. And later he showed me the way to go to the restaurant. After he left, I left the car, parked the car, and went to the restaurant. Then I started shivering, because if someone robbed me again, I have nothing to offer. The next day, at William Street, at traffic light, I saw him again, but we pretend didn't see each other. The third robbery was 9 days before Veronica Raymond's wedding. This time, God didn't give me any intuition. I went to the jewelry factory to give a chain for Veronica's mother-in-law's diamond. When I went into the lift, when the door about to close, someone opened the door and said, wait. When the lift door closed, in the yellow bag, he took a long knife, put near my neck, and said, don't move, and unbuckled my Rolex watch and took my whole purse. The lift stopped. I thought maybe the upstairs saw the robbery. I said, sir, you can take my watch. Please return me the purse. He tried to put the knife to my arm. The thief became anxious. Couldn't make the lift move. He asked me, what happened to this lift? I said, I don't know. Very seldom came here. He planned to go to the top to put me there, and it got stuck. Later he left the lift and asked me not to follow. I heard the door bang. He must enter the karaoke. Earlier I saw the advertisement at karaoke served lunch at noontime. I planned to eat there after jewelry factory. So I slowly walked down, opened the karaoke door, very cold inside. No one there. I thought the thief must be inside. So I walked down the stairs only with a tissue paper in my hand and talked to the sales girl in the supermarket that I was robbed. If I could borrow the telephone. He asked me to use the phone outside. So I called my husband that I was robbed, and he asked me to make report in the central station. I went inside, and they told me needs to, it took to 10 days. But I said, my daughter was getting married after 9 days. I didn't have time. So I'm asked to go to Wanchai Station with a detective. Wanchai Station just had a fire drill, so I participated in the drill. And made the face of the thief, and detective drove me home. He asked me if I had brought insurance. Then I remember at the beginning of May in Hong Kong Shanghai Bank, someone asked me to buy home insurance and was free for 2 months. 1st of July was a holiday. 2nd of July, I had to pay. That day exactly was 2nd of July that I was robbed. Wasn't God so wonderful? Worldwide risk pay 20,000, so the things in the purse was paid. Just my Rolex watch, 80,000 for 50. And my son Samuel's robbery in States. My son Samuel one time called from States, L.A. Mom, I was robbed. I asked, with a knife? That's my experience. He said, Mom, this is States, this is U.S. with a gun. And a man came to ask him about the time. After 1 minute, come back with a gun. Took his wallet. There's nothing inside, only $1. And also driver's license, which had an address on it. But that address, that license he took was at high school, 250 miles away. So wasn't God marvelous? And the big fire, God always protecting us each minute of our lives. Veronica and Samuel were at States, California, had a big fire. Veronica told me if the wind didn't change direction, the fire would reach their home 30 minutes. Thank God's mercy, God did make the wind change direction, and God keep them safe from harm. In the car accident, the last day of Veronica's kindergarten, my car went to repair, and I used Father's Mercedes-Benz old car to pick up Veronica. My father went to Australia. I was the last one to pick up Veronica. After Veronica, Samuel, and I came into the car, I tried to make the car straight without starting the engine, and the car drove down the slope. The brake didn't function. At first, children were laughing. Later, the car bumped to the tree. We were sitting on the side windows. A building construction man came to see us and help us out the car. Wow, there were so many mosquitoes on the water. When we walked up, teachers were anxious to see if I was hurt. Reporters outside waiting to make interview. So I decided no interview, rode in the ambulance to have checkup in Tanshiki Hospital. Veronica and I were all right. The little Samuel doctor asked him, who was he? Samuel said, Doctor. Doctor smiled and released us. In the evening, our car came back. Thomas asked me to drive down to have lunch with relatives. And on the slope, the brake seemed to be not working. I was afraid. Not the second time. and my life-threatening anniversary. On June 24, 2006, I was perfectly all right at daytime. That day, the Ladies' Fellowship had fellowship lunch at Yacht Club, organized by Pansy Lamb. At night, I cooked a lot of food for Samuel Thomas. Samuel would get married after 5 months and 6 days. After dinner, father and son went to see 4-year once World Soccer, and I went to bed. And at 3 a.m., Thomas went into the room. At the best timing, I moved vigorously on bed, vomited, and fell on the floor. Both of them were frightened and rushed me to Queen Mary Hospital on 25 June 2006. If it happened in the afternoon, the helper at the back will notice. I was unconscious for 8 days, underwent 4 brain surgeries. Thank God's grace and love, God made me well again. I was about to move to rehabilitating hospital, so I started to learn walking. And less than 2 months in 2 hospitals, I was all right. On August 27, 2006, our whole family came back to IBC. The most happy thing was that Thomas came to church with me ever since. He attended IBC before, but because heavy business schedule, he went back to his Catholic church. What an answered prayer. Now the whole family, 11 of us, worship together. What a blessing from the Lord. When I get well, I still have 3 months to have Samuel to prepare the wedding. Also, at Magley House, there was a teacher who also had a stroke at right side, so he used his left hand to write most beautiful calligraphy. I'm still learning now. Became my hobby. I talked to Samuel and Veronica after they returned to Hong Kong from US that they would love the Lord their God as their first priority, which we usually share with them through young age. I hope this heritage go on. Now I thank God for their faithfulness in the Lord, and I pray, like Valerie, that all my grandsons, their future wives, be devout Christians, and the happiness will go on and on. Thank you for listening, ladies and gentlemen.